forward, and then back. Forward and back. Good morning to you. Good morning the world. Good morning Australia. I am forward and back, and I'm out on my electric unicycle commuting to where I need to go. And look at this weather. It's like the weather for squids today. This is sunny Queensland, Australia. And you know, I'm all wrapped up like a Beastie Boy on an intergalactic planetary adventure. That's what I bring to you today on my channel. This is the third day straight that I'm rolling in the rain. Yeah, well, cool. Thanks for coming back to my channel. I'm forward and back, and I'm an electric wheelist. And you know, I wanted to show what it's like to commute on one of these wheels, and this is the ugly truth. This is as bad as it gets, I would say. You know, you have to put up with the conditions, and you know, depending on where you live, you just need to suit up accordingly. I've got some meetings and things today that I've got to sit down and attend, so I can't be wet and on the way in today. You know, I just needed to consider that. So I've popped on my lightweight motorbike sort of, it's, you know, you can pick this sort of stuff up at kind of a lot of sporting shops. This is a motorbike setup. Actually, the jacket's sort of mountain trekking jacket, and it just folds up into a little bag that fits in your pocket, and then the bag just sits inside the pocket actually. Make a little emergency rain kit for your unicycle. You know what? That is a good idea. I might revisit that in another video. You know, my wife offered to drive me in a bit later. We've got to juggle all the kids, the school commute. We've got a lot of kids, and she's an amazing person that usually tackles that. Amazing. Shout out to you, dude. And then I said no, you know, no thanks. Lightens her load, saves us some petrol, saves a trip. I don't really want my family on the road if I don't have to put them on the road, especially in conditions like this. It's really saturated overnight, there's floods around, and I know I can get there on the wheel. Might be a little bit colder, might be a little bit more uncomfortable, but if you dress to impress, go out with your Beastie Boys kit on and use the right wheel. So this is an InMotion V11 electric unicycle. It's got an IP55 splash resistant rating, which means that it can handle conditions like this. I guess you still want to try to avoid conditions like this with your electric vehicles. You never know, or you need to at least keep an eye on them and make sure that they will hold up under the conditions. You know, if you've had it open or pulled it apart, you need to just make sure that all the seals are still in place and it can handle the weather if you're going to head out in it. Yeah, well, okay, well, I'm off to school. Thank you for coming back to my channel and watching my videos. Hopefully you're enjoying what you're seeing. I think something that helps me go more comfortable on a commute, it's not just on a wheel, it's also on a motorbike. I think I first, go again, think about it forward and back. So what I was just thinking about is how you tense up and you ride and handle yourself in different conditions. So you've got your vehicle to worry about, but perhaps you might overlook how you are doing things. What I'm trying to get towards is, you know, you see all of this debris around me now and it's really wet. The tyre isn't the best condition, it's a little bit bald, and I really do need another tyre. So you need to take all of that into account, and it's not the same sort of vibe as when it's beautiful and sunny and dry and you're seeing me dancing on the wheel. I still want to dance so much, but I'm tense. I was just wondering why are my feet hurting? And that's because I'm tensing up a lot more. I'm really conscious of the conditions and, possibly subconscious of the conditions, and that's just making my body react in a different way. So usually I'm more relaxed onto the wheel, and that's something I found out early on for the electric unicycle is if you relax into it, you feel a lot more comfortable, and actually you take a bit of the tension off the wheel. What I'm meaning by that, I learned this with a motorbike. If you really tense up and grip on and hold on tight to the motorbike, to the wheel with your shins, and you squeeze on in and pressing onto it and pressing down hard with your feet, the wheel responds to that tension, and it feels that pressure. So everything, you're connected a lot more firmly to the wheel. So everything that your body does, it's transferred through to the wheel. So you don't really notice that you're tense and that you're putting all these pressures and extra balance points on the wheel or the pedals, but you are. And the wheel is then sort of doing a bit more work or fighting a little bit more. It's just not allowed to be loose and do its thing. Kind of like suspension needs to be, just bouncy, doing its thing. Yeah, so if you can kind of relax onto the wheel, it allows it to be a bit more comfortable. I don't know, maybe you're getting what I'm saying and maybe you're not. If you're tense and holding on, even that wind blowing you is forcing the wheel one way or the other because you're connected. And I've slowly learned on my bike, and the same with the wheel, just stay loose, relax. It's a head thing. You've still got control of that bike. You just don't need to be holding onto the handlebars with all of your might, and the amount of effort that causes, it's so tiring. And the same thing in your feet and the same thing in your legs. You don't realize that muscle is just clenching on to that device. And over a 10-kilometer commute, that really takes a lot of your energy, and that's why you're sore, that's why you're tired. So relax, don't clench. Okay, that was my story anyway. I just wanted to say about clenching up and tensing on wheels. Try to stay relaxed, and it's very slippy. I can see the conditions. I need to lean in, and I'm carrying weight, so I've got to balance that. I'm trying not to slide out. That's the biggest thing, because it's one wheel. You've got one wheel. That's what, and that wheel has about that much hold on the ground at any one point. There's not much. If you hit a spot of oil, I'm glad you don't really on these pathways, but a little bit of loose leaf, hit a stick, or a little bit of trash, some plastic wrapper, just a puddle, anything. You might have even been cleaning your wheel and you've had a bit of residue of some horrible WD-40 or lubricant product that's now seeped down onto your tread. You didn't realise, you didn't clean it up. Off you go in the morning. You're really going to notice that pretty quick in these conditions, and you're going to hit the ground. So all these things, keeping an eye on your wheel, keeping an eye on your tyre pressures. I've got 45 psi in my tyre, which is not the best for these conditions. You probably want to lower that to 35 to 40 if you're especially just new at your wheel and you don't want to be hitting these conditions on a really high tyre pressure. I don't know, these are just some tips that I'm picking up as I commute in the rain. So far I should be dry underneath this. I've got a nice jacket and some pants on. I feel totally comfortable, to be honest. Quite warm and toasty. I've got probably 3 layers of clothing. So I look like a big fat dumpling. Big fat, they call me Dumpling Boy G in the Beastie Boys. Hey, Dumpling Boy G, they say bust a flow, and I'm like, fat dumpling.
Recording.
So I've been, really enjoying my V11 lately, more and more actually. The fun's not going away, and things like this are just enabling me to see new ways to keep it in my life, even if I upgrade my wheels. For the moment, I don't see a lot of other great choices for waterproof for my wet commuter wheel, and this is holding up. This last week especially, I've put it to its paces through these rain events. Oh God, what are we going to do here? I think we're going to do it. So yeah, I've put it through its paces lately, and it's been holding up really, really well for me and for my needs when it's like this. Gee, this is the path I usually come on, and I can feel that wheel. It's got a bit of work to do, just holding my traction, I guess. I'm not going to go fast through here. It's washing the road out, and there's new potholes that I'm going to have to keep my eye on. You're going to find trees across the road. It's been a bit of hard work this trip home today. Some people ask, do you get a workout when you're riding the electric unicycle? Yeah, you do. And quite often it's not just standing on the thing, it's when you have to walk it around a tree or hop it over something, or you're using your muscles to just work it slowly. It's all sort of working on your core fitness, and I don't know, I use a lot more muscles and I get a lot more of a workout doing this than I do sitting in a car. So for me it helps. But I do have some fun. I'm not always just sitting around and casually strolling. I give it a little bit of fun. Well, I'm close to home. It's a wet, washed out kind of day. It's going to be good to get home, take the kid off, towel the wheel down. I like to let it dry before I plug it into the charger, and especially make sure that your charging ports are dry and free of moisture. That's about it. That's a wrap for this video. A wet video. Good day to just sit at home and watch some television. Thanks for watching my video. I'm Ford and back from Brisbane, Australia. This has been one enjoyable commute on my electric unicycle. Thank you for watching, and bye for now. Ford and back. Forward and then back.